Hello and welcome to this solo play experimental game of Judge Dredd the miniatures game. Why is it experimental? Well, there's two things. First of all, completely legal this is that you can reduce the costs of your judges by doing a couple of things. Your characters have the Let's Ride ability skill. Each skill costs 1 point, 1 notoriety. So unless you're using law masters or using vehicle rules, which I'm not, I'm just basically using the vehicles as obstacles. Currently, I'm going to do some games where we use the law masters and the vehicles, but just not yet. It's coming, it's on the way. But when you're not in those, it's not really a skill that has any benefit. So I've reduced each judge is reduced by 1 point notoriety for that, for dropping that ability. The other thing that I noticed was that, first of all, I don't want judges in close combat because in the game, obviously, you get more perps than you do judges. So if you're going to get a close combat situation, chances are you're going to get outnumbered and outfought eventually, whittled down and defeated. So another thing that I kind of didn't feel was that helpful for the way that I was playing the judges is the close combat weapons. So I get rid of both the weapons. Again, that's a point each for the day stick and a point for the boot knife. And so in total, each judge, their notoriety is actually 3 less than usual. So the likes of your senior street judge here is 23 points, but it's actually 20 points. And the street judges are actually only 15 points. Okay, as I said, that's all legal. I've asked Andy Chambers and he said, yep, no, you're right, that's how it's costed. So there's no problem in doing that. That's a totally legal way of reducing the cost of your judges. And yeah, so have a bit of fun with that if it helps you at all with the game. The other thing that's experimental about this is I've been talking to Andy about things to do. I didn't feel the judges were getting the chance to activate enough, and I'd noticed they'd said something about when it was not long after it was released, they'd been talking about adding more chips to the bag, and I was inquiring about it, and he said actually maybe reducing the number of chips that the perps get is actually the better way to do it. So the judges still get as many chips as they normally do, and basically I felt from my experience with Strontium Dog that basically for every star chip character you've got, usually they can deal with up to 2 standard guys, minor characters if you like. So yeah, my thinking on this really is that the chips should maybe be limited at most 2 to 1 for a larger force compared to a smaller force. So in actual fact, the perps here, there's 15 of them. They're only going to, even though I've got 15 chips there, only 12 are going to be in the bag. That's the most they can have in any turn. But obviously when I kill about the first couple, they'll still be at 12 because you always get 12 until you don't have any models that can sustain the 12. So that's really how that's going to work. Obviously 3 chips out of 15 isn't actually that big a deal, but I think that combined with the lower costings should hopefully make this a reasonably even fight. I might fall flat in my face here and I might be completely wrong, but so anyway, that's the experiment. We'll see how it goes. A couple of other things to note are you can see people who recognise the miniatures will know that that's Dredd and Anderson, their models there. I'm not playing them as Dredd and Anderson. I'm going to do some missions with Dredd and Anderson. Again, a bit like the vehicles, they're on the way, but I'm not doing it yet. I'm more interested at this point just because it's experimental, just using the various different types of, bog standard judge. So these 3 over here, these are street judges. The one that's Dredd, I've just made a senior street judge, and these 2 are veteran street judges. The other thing, these are the 2 that where I kind of spent a bit extra. The 2 of them have got law rods because I knew they were going up against the City Death and the Block Gang, both of whom have some combat rifles, and the sniper rifle most of all is really deadly, who I've already got in the perch over there. So yeah, I just realised he was missing there. So yeah, those two gangs, you'll see I'm using blue and red chips. That's only because I had nearly enough red chips to field this entire force, 15 of them as I say. I think it was only one short, so I basically decided just to mix blue and red. So, but it doesn't really matter if a blue or red chip comes out, I can activate any one of the two gangs. And the other thing to mention is that the chips there, you can see I've only got 2 star chips, which is the basic starter set ones for the gold ones. But all these characters are star chip characters, so anytime it's gold, forget that it's blank, they're all star chips. And there's 2 chips in here which are star chips, but they are actually marked, so that's less of a problem. Other than that, I've got the rules, measuring tape, loads of counters, loads of dice as well, because we'll need them. I've also, as usual, I've got Barry from Mega City Gaming's excellent stat weapons charts, so please give his channel a little subscribe, Mega City Gaming as I say, and thanks again Barry for these. One thing I didn't go through was the cards there. So in terms of the big meg cards, the perps have OK Plan B, Hit 'em with everything, Friendly Fire, and they have 4 armoury cards, and the reason they've got 4 is because there's a City Def leader who has access to the armoury. So their armoury cards are Concealed Culinary Laser, Zipline Grapnel, Concussion Grenade, and a Stealth Suit. The judges, they have for their big meg cards Lemming Syndrome, Hit the Dirt Spuggers, Leadership, and their armoury cards. I cheated with these a bit because I just felt that this is all kind of standard Justice Department stuff, equipment, so I basically allowed them to choose, or myself to choose for the judges. So I've taken a med pack, a seeker, and a high X. So yeah, technically that's cheating, but why shouldn't the judges have access, especially when they City Def have 4 armoury cards? So I think it's only fair that the judges can pick their own equipment. So just to explain the mission we're using, pretty much it's really just a large version of Sweet Justice. So the Billy Paxton block, the City Def and Block Gang have made a pact to instigate a block war against the nearby Michael Bean block, and basically the judges have got wind of this, and before the Paxton blockers get the chance to launch their block war, Justice Department is sending in a team of 6 crack judges, and yeah, they're basically going to try and stop the City Def and the Block Gang members. So most of the City Def are up in the vehicle park there and at vantage points, because they're basically preparing themselves for this raid. There's 3 more of them down there in the Twin Block Plaza, and also one of the gang members, this kind of gang hideout here, he's there with the combat rifle, which is a formidable weapon, and the reason why I brought these law rods. So the perps are first to activate, and basically get a chip, and we're going to activate this perp, and because this is the Sweet Justice rules, you need to see if they do anything. So we're using the Sentry rules at this point, and let's see what we get. 2000 AD. 2000 AD result means the Justice Department player may make a normal move action with the Sentry. Excellent. And it may be bad, but they've sent him into the corner to have a chat with the guy up in the vehicle park. So he's got his back to proceedings, which is exactly what the judges want, so they don't get spotted coming in. Okay, next chip. And it's another member of the City Def, so again another Sentry roll. Shield means they do nothing. Okay, so another chip. And we have one of the judges, so I think we'll come on at this end because I get better cover down here. Less chance of being spotted, and we'll do a sprint action. Sprint action gets an extra d6 to movement, so it's 4, so they can move a total of 16. Get up behind there, and I've given her a fast marker in case anybody discovers her. But she's not crossing any line of sight for the villains, so they don't get a Sentry roll. And she's not in any danger at the moment, so I think I can risk a go for broke. Oh dear, failed. So she is pinned. Yeah, and that's because I didn't roll a 2000 AD result. Okay, next chip. Okay, villains again. So sentries, judge will play in him. 2000 AD. So yeah, that sentry's going to get moved. Also doing the same kind of thing. So it can move 6 inches. So he's also joining this conflab. No doubt, much to the displeasure of his leader. Okay, I've drawn a star chip, so I'll give it to the leader. She's obviously going to tell them to get back on with their duties. But she's tied up talking to them. Okay, villains again. Let's do the guy up on top of the vehicle park there. See what he's up to. 2000. The judges have got him walking away. So typical of the madness in Mega City 1, this guy's walking off and he's got his back to the whole scene. So yeah, the city def are not well drilled here. I'm not doing too well. Okay, let's see what's next. Another one of the villains. Just basically, let's see what he's up to. He is able to move. The only problem is, he's actually on the point where I would want him to be, so he's not going to bother. He has activated. Next, villains again. Yeah, it's going to have to be that one there. I'm just going to leave these at the base, so you know when these guys have activated. Let's see what he's up to. 2080, this is unbelievable. Okay, so he's off for a chat as well, and this Def leader must be getting pretty irate at this point. Okay, next chip, judges. Okay, let's get this other guy, because again, this side they're not seen, so another sprint action. And 3, so he's basically able to get up to beside that judge. I'm going to try and turn his chip. No one specials every other time, but no. So he is also pinned, so he makes up there beside the judge. He does also get the moving fast marker though, so that's not so bad. Okay, next chip, villains again. So the only one that's not activated so far is the sniper. So let's see what he's going to be doing. He has a move his own way, but again, he's absolutely happy where he is. Okay. Judges. Okay, so I think, well, I'm obviously going to have to move one of these anyway. So I'm going to move one of the guys with the law rod. He's also going to make a sprint action. So let's see how that goes. 4, so he can move 16. Okay, so one of the things you can do in sprint is go up. If it's a staircase, you can do it. So basically the way you do it is measure the length that you're going to be travelling, which in this case is 4 inches. And then you measure up the way, which is also 4 inches. So basically that's 8 inches of movement. But it does have 16. So he gets to the top of the stairs. However, you can get a couple of guys here, let's say your man there and that sniper. The two of them I would say have a reasonable chance of spotting him. He does count as being in hard cover though, so that helps. And because he's in heavy cover, he basically only spot him in a 2000 AD result. Armour, so nope, he hasn't spotted him. I'm being a wee bit generous to the judges because he wasn't in hard cover the whole time, but I don't think it's that reasonable that they get spotted the second they walk on the board, but once they're in a bit, yeah, I think that's reasonable. Okay, I'm going to try again, because the main thing is he can't shoot him anyway, so he may as well try and return these chips to the bag. And I did, so he gets 4 dice, 2000 AD, got it this time. So that goes back in the bag. And that one's coming out, so that doesn't matter now because there's no more on the board, so it basically means it's starting to whittle away. Basically the alarm has to be sounded first of all before the other perps can come on. Got a chip out, so I'm going to move this guy. I think I will do a sprint just to keep him on, give him that bonus -1 until he activates again to be hit. So, because I don't really want to sound the alarm just yet, I want to try and see if I can waste away some more perp chips first of all. Okay, I don't want to push my luck with him. All these guys have got Gunfighter. I've taken Gunfighter for all the judges. So I don't want to get him. I don't really want to risk tying him up at this stage. So let's just keep going back with the chips. Okay, that's another perp chip wasted. Okay, so drew quite a few perp chips there. So there's more of them out of the bag, which is good news for the judges. So yeah, move this other guy. He's also going to perform a sprint action. And yeah, basically gets to the same spot as the other boy did on his first action, which is up the top there. I just realised I'm a wee bit short on the gold moving fast markers. Probably the starter set's not designed for a game this scale, so yeah, get some more tokens if you want to do a thing at this scale. It's just because I've got ones from Strontium Dog. I don't really need them, so. But yeah, the OCD is ringing into my head because it's a red instead of a gold. Yeah, he'll try and return his chip. And he does do it. And comes straight back out again. So I'm going to have him perform a sprint again, just so it gives him that -1. So I don't even need to bother. I will reach the end there. Gets him moving fast. Do I want to push my luck? I think I will push his luck. And he does, so that's good. Yeah, that gives some options here. Means he'll be able to fire this turn, which is great. Okay, let's draw another chip. Judges again. Okay, I'm not going to fire just yet. I'm going to use the time still before they're discovered to try and get these other judges on. So I think we'll do a sprint action with this judge. In fact, I'll use the senior street judge because he's got cool 5 and he's got more chance of returning his chip, just in case it comes down to the last chip for that other guy. Let's get the stand in for Dredd into the battle. And he's hugging the cover there. Let's see if he can return his chip. And he can return his chip. Yep, 2008 back in the bag. It's really good because it means the judges are actually performing quite well, and he should also have a moving fast mark. There we go. Perps, 2 perps there. In fact, I would say that the leader probably has a chance as well. So yeah, they're all looking over cover, I would say. So it's going to be, you'll get discovered on a armour result, but there's 3 of them, so any armour result. Yeah, game's up, so they've spotted them. Yeah, so the perps are alerted, so the game is afoot now. But his chip did go back in the bag. Let's see what we get next. And yes, I think it's time. Time to unleash. Let's see what his line of sight is like. He will have a line of sight there to both the guy in the building and the one over the sniper over the entrance plaza. Yeah, the sniper is really dangerous. So the judges in a briefing beforehand, they basically decided get rid of the ringleaders. So they will be going after the leaders, the gang leaders when they're the gang leader and also this city def. But they also want to get rid of these long range weapons, which can do a lot of damage. So there's a combat rifle and a sniper rifle there, and there's quite a few of these guys are combat rifles. So these are kind of the judge's primary targets basically, but he's going to go for that sniper because they really are really nasty in this game. If you fire it with snapshots, you get a -2 to your shoot. I'm not really wanting to do that. I'm going to put an aim shot in it, and I'm going to put the bonus 2 dice into the damage. He's a veteran street judge, so he has a shoot of 4, so he's got 3 dice to make this shot. Just needs a hit. Hopefully we can do that. Yep, we can. Evade. The snipers is 1. Evade. And he fails his evade. And the law rod has 4 power, but I get the +2 for that aim shot. Whoa! Oh dear. Sniper is in big trouble. Okay, so the sniper gets his toughness, his resist rather, is 3, and he has +2 for being in hard cover. But yeah, he's going to struggle to beat 6. Only get 1, so he gets a maximum of 3 injury markers, and that takes that sniper out 1 shot. Brutal, nice. Good to see the judge one-shotting somebody, because the sniper is a kill of 3. So he is out, and he is the first casual of the game. We put aside his chip. Still going to be a maximum of 12 chips in the bag at this point, because it's only 1 casualty and there's still 2 spare over. Okay, so that was a beauty. Okay, let's so yeah, he's going to try and push it forward. May as well, there's not much still to come on this turn, so go for it. 2000 AD, not this time, so he's pinned. So he gets his pinned, bit greedy there, but yeah, worth a go. I drew the last of the perps chips there, so there's only 2 chips left in the bag, and they're both for the judges. So let's have our guy here. He's going to move up again. I think we'll do a sprint action again, just to get him across there, and if I don't decide to go against it, 13 inches should still be enough to get right over. Yeah, easily. Getting him right in the corner there, which gives him a lot of cover from the perps that are over there. And because it's not the last chip, he is going to try and return that chip to the bag. And he's the one with 5, a kill of 5. 2000 AD results, good. Okay, so he returns his chip and he's going to put it straight back down again. I'll take that moving fast marker. He is in range with him, just by about half an inch. So I'm going to make 2 snapshots. He's got -1 because he's at long range, and his shoot is 4, so he gets the attack dice. He does get a hit there, and the gang heavy has a evade of 2. Failed the evade, 4 power, and it's only 1 perp because he's a heavy, has resist of 3, plus he gets 2 for that hard cover, so he only needs 2 shields and nothing will happen. He gets 1 shield, so he's stunned. His stun means, because I was on the ledge, we've got to do a cool test. His cool is reduced to 2 because of the fact he's had that stun. And he needs, usually it's just 2000 AD, but this occasion when it's fallen, it's shield will do it. A shield does do it. So he's okay, but yeah, he's stunned, taking a stun. That's the first shot. He's taking that stun, that's the first shot. Second shot, roll to hit. His evade is now down to 1. Failed. 4 power again. Just 1 again, and he is down to 4 resist because of that stun. This time he does get 2 shields, so that's good enough. So that's him. Try and get this back in there. Not this time, he is pinned this time. He gets that pinned. So the last one out is our last judge down the bottom here, and he's going in a sprint. 2, so, and that takes him to there. So yeah, most of the judges are pinned. I'm not going to push it with him, I'm just going to leave it as it is. The only one that doesn't have a moving fast marker is your man there, and that's because he took those shots at the perp up in the roof. I just realised when I drew that, one of the chips, the very last chip for the perps, they should have actually been able to activate. So it came on the board, and basically it costs a single move to enter the board. So basically he can move to the bottom of the stairs. Really, the limit of what he's able to do. So apologies, I missed that one. Just all the excitement of the judges doing well here. So, except that it's not the last thing that happens, because the judges are going to play their lemming syndrome. So D3 models within 6 inches of a table edge. So this edge of the block is a table edge, so I'm going to try and get 3 of these block guys, starting with the main perp. So let's see, D3, how many is that going to be? 2. So I'm going to hit the 2 up on the ledge there, and each get hit by D6. So I'll start with the leader first. It's only power 2, and the other guy, only power 1. That was a pity. One of the things I'm not really clear about is whether they're supposed to get any cover benefits. Anyway, the leader gets hit with 2. She takes 1 hit, and she has resist a 4, so she only needs 2 to stop this. She gets 1, so she takes a stun. Stun means she's got to do a cool test. She's cooled 4, so she's 3. And again, this time she's just looking for it's a special one, so she needs the armor will do it. Yeah, she's fine, she's not falling. The other guy, power 1, but he still needs to do his resist, which is for a heavy is 3, and he gets 2 shields, so he's fine. That was a real pity, because that could have been really devastating for those 2 characters. Hit by fallen citizens. Yeah, basically fallen citizens splattered around them there. So that's one of the Justice Department's cards played. Okay, so just to give you a post turn 1 overview, we've got the 2 judges up here in the building, 1 in the centre there, 1 underneath the building, and 2 over here, and I've got the perps over here who are a bit total carnage and disarray around them. So chips are back in the bag again. Perps have 12 chips in the bag. It's not reduced, although they've only got 2 now spare. So it's the perps. So I think I've got to get this guy up here. He's going to try and return fire at that judge. And because he pushed it, he'll not be able to use his gunfire, which is annoying. So, but the perp will want to get rid of that stunned marker. The perp is a gang heavy who has shoot of 3. He's using a combat rifle, which is long range, which is 0 modifier, so 3 dice. And he misses. Next chip, perps again. I think we'll have to try and get these guys to come back around. So I think the combat rifle should be able to have range if he can get back along the ledge there. Let's see. Believe it or not, the combat rifle will only get into range once the guy's halfway down those stairs. It is literally half an inch short of being able to target that nearest judge. So that is a real pain in the neck for him. Yeah, that's good enough. So, but it's a double move. So he has managed to get the range, but now he's more than 8 away from his city death leader, which isn't so good because you want to chain them up. Another perp chip is out. I think he'll bring in another one here. So this is another combat rifle. I think she will do a sprint again. Oh, that's good. 17. So she is going to, I think she'll head for that garbage grinder, which she can make no bother. Actually, better than that, she can get even further. She's moved herself right across to there, out of sight, but in a position to threaten next turn. She gets a moving fast token. There we go. Next chip out the back. Judges. Okay, I think I will start with my main man here. Okay, he's going to do a cool test to see if he can shake off that pin. So 2,000 we need. Yep, we got 1. So you can remove that marker. So that's that going. Knows we're not under threat from that one this turn, but this guy is going to be in a charge in a minute. So I think he will fire, make 2 snap. Well, certainly one snapshot, see if we can one shot him first. He is literally 16 inches, just makes his range. It's a senior street judge who is shoot 4, -1 for long range. So 3 attack dice, first snapshot, gets a hit, the perp gets a chance to dodge. That is just a gang punk this time, evade of 2 as well. So yeah, all the blockers, all the gang members have evade 2. It does make it, so you might be able to get out of the line of sight of this judge. Let's see where he can get to. And he makes it there, so yeah, he's just out of line of sight for the judge, so the judge will move his attention to the gang heavy up in the building there and snapshot him. 3 attack dice, no hits, he's missed. So he will attempt to return his chip. 3 2000 AD results, so he returns a chip to the bag. Back in there. And comes straight back out again, so he's... I've got these 2 guys still to come who may be able to nail those perps. Should he actually back off here is a question. No, judges don't back off. Right, okay, so he'll try and shoot the guy in the stairwell, and that leaves those 2 to deal with that perp over there. So the ones on the stairwell, actually he can't shoot the guy in the stairwell because he's just over 16 and a half, so he's out of range. So the only one he has in range is this guy up here, so he's just going to another 2 snapshots at him. Again, -1 to shoot. That's a hit. But dodged. I think it would be wise for him to back off out of sight so that the judge can't fire at him again. So he'll move his 3 inches to the back of the building. It's not going to save him from these guys out, but it does kind of scupper the judge. There's going to be a lot of reinforcements coming on here, so I'm not going to be greedy. I'm going to just leave him so that he's got his gunfighter available in case guys start pouring out of these buildings. Okay, next chip. This is really tricky now. I think we'll bring out some gang members. Bring on our auto stump. So she's coming down the stairs with her first move. Oh, in fact, it's a move to enter the board, so she's not going to be able to get to the bottom of the stairs. And that is her action. Okay. More villains. Going to get another gang punk out here, I think. You can assume he's facing forward, it's just so he can balance on the stairs. So it's him. And the judge. I think I'll try move one of our judges over here so it gets a stun to, so a pinned marker to try and shake off. Passes, so that's done. I think I might do a sprint again. It's good to have that -1. Can really move up here. Doesn't want to go too far though, because this is really he'll find himself surrounded by guys here if he does that. He keeps his token. I'm not going to push it again. Keeps the gunfire option open if he comes under fire. Another gang member out, I think. There he goes. Very fortunate for them that the judge has activated, because this is a attractive proposition for high exit. Okay, that's another one out. And another one. And this is going to be... So this is the block gang lieutenant is entering the fray here. And when she activates, D3 models within of her own side or within 6 inches can return chips to the bag. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, she gets 3. She gets all 3 of those chips back in. I think, and it was the star chip I drew there, by the way. I think she will try and return her chip as well while she's about it for good measure. The perps deserve some luck here after the battering they've taken so far. Let's see. No, she gets pinned. Okay, well that's good news for the judges because that character constantly drawing star chips could really chain up quite badly there. But 3 chips back in, that's pretty good going. Bad news for the judges. This is why the judges have targeted these characters because they want them out of the way as quickly as possible. Yeah, let's get the first of these into cover. She's going to move, make a single move to the edge of the building. She's hugging the cover, so we know this when fire is returned. But yeah, she's going to try and target that judge with her auto stump. And the auto stump at long range has -1 modifier. She'll need to get in closer if she wants to do some real damage with this, but anyway. Gang punks have shoot to oh dear, so she's only got 1 dice. She does hit. Let's see if the judge can do it. He evade this. He can, he evades. So now the question is, does he have the arc? I don't think he is, so he's going to take the, I would be gaming it if I allowed him to take that gunfire this time, so he's going to turn in place. And because she's moved already, that is her activation. But it was free, so that was pretty good. Perps, again, this is a star chip, so now I'm going to play it on her, and she's going to take a move action, which will bring her through the carnage over to the edge here, and she'll use her second action to basically remove, she can spend an action and remove somebody's chip if they're within, I think it's 6 or 8 inches. So that's going back in the bag. She's also going to try and return her action chip. And she fails, so she is pinned, which is a bit of a shame. But again, good news for the judges that these characters aren't getting the chance to go wild with returning chips. But anyway, his one's back in the bag. Okay, so I think this guy here is going to try and shake off his pin. Fails, so you're going to have to spend his first action shaking off that pinned marker, and he's going to take a snapshot, probably the guy on those stairs, because he's one of the dangerous ones, because he's got all the judges are shoot 4, so it's reduced by 1 to 3 for long range. Hit, perp tries to dodge, side F only get 1 evade. Fails the evade, so 4 power with the war rod. 2, I have trooper, so he gets 3, plus 2 for the cover is 5 dice. And he gets 2, so he goes, he gets his stun, and because he's on the edge there, he's got to make this test to see if he falls. And yeah, he's fine, he's not going to fall. So yeah, I think they'll take the chance of trying to return the chip. And he fails, so he's pinned again. He doesn't have that moving fast marker either. And back into the bag. Perps again. I think this perp will take I think he'll take an aim shot if he's got the range. He only just has the range, it's 16 to there, so he's going to fire. It's -1 at long range for his pistol. This is a guy with 2 pistols, so I think I will allow him, give him the bonus. Yeah, I think he'll use both his pistols so that he gets a +1 to his roll here. And he does hit. Tries his evade. 3. Failed the evade. So the perp rolls his damage. Damage for a pistol is 3 dice. I did say he was doing an aim shot, So 2 dice into damage. So 4 dice. Whoa! Okay. However, the judge resisted 4. He gets 2 for cover, and he also gets a +1 because the guy was using the double weapon. Oh dear! Not a single one. He does get gunfire though. Triggers his gunfire because he get those 2,000. In fact, he did get one. But that's not any use. It basically means 4 injury markers, but the maximum you can inflict is 3 wounds. So that's brutal. That's really brutal. Yeah, that was a nasty one for the judge. So he takes 3 hits. However, his gunfighter was triggered there, and that means he gets to fire back before the results are applied. So it's long range, -1. He gets 2 hits on the guy, not enough to pin him. The guy gets an evade. He's a gang member, so he gets 2 evade. He does actually make it. So he moves on another 3 inches with his evade. Okay, villains again. The next guy, he is going to try and take a shot at the judge as well. Actually, the model fell there when I was going down the stairs, but I think he was. In fact, he would have to move because I'd worked out the turn with the last shot. He was right in the very edge of 16 inches for his pistol, so he's just going to have to take a move action. He will stay at the bottom of the stairs there, and the idea is that he's using that as cover. So I'll get his chip down. And yeah, this time he doesn't have multiple weapons, so this time he will just be down to 1 dice, and it is a snapshot. Yeah, he hits. And that is that guy completed his attack. Next chip, more villains. He's going to turn, and he's going to overwatch because he's obviously heard movement over here. He can't see the judge, but he certainly knows there's one nearby, and then obviously with the carnage around him, the guy is panicking. So yeah, that's him overwatching. Next chip is another down here. So I think he'll make a move to the edge of that vehicle there. And he does have line of sight to the judge. The idea was that the judge was, so it's 12 inches. That will be long range for his pistol. City Death guy, they have a shoot of 3. He's at -1 because he's firing at long range. He's also another -1 because the judge was moving fast. He also has 2 weapons, so he is going to fire 2 dice to attack. So yep, he lands a hit. Judge rolls for his evade, and he fails his evade. So the damage of a pistol is 3. And it's 1 he's rolled. The street judge only has a resist of 3, and he gets 2 for being in hard cover. So he's 2, he does make the 2, so that's lucky. Nothing there to spark a gunfighter though. That is that guy activated. Back into the bag. The guy at the vehicle park, he can turn in place, and he's going to overwatch as well, so they can cover this flank if another judge makes a run for it. It must just be judges that are left in this pretty much. So things come on the vehicle park, so it's 1 action to arrive on, and then she can move 6 inches. Probably much to the annoyance of the City Death guy that's on Overwatch there. Okay, back in the bag. Judge. So let's get one of the judges going here. This second judge here, because he's got this guy with the axes is still to activate. He does have a line of sight, so he's going to try and shake off his pinned marker first. And he doesn't get a 2000 D, so he, like his pal, he's going to have to spend an action shaking that off. He's going to take a snapshot, so he moves his movement fast. Shoots for -1. Because of the range. Does get a hit, the gang member gets his evade of 2. He actually makes it. That guy is he's doing quite well there, that one. So he gets to move on another 3 inches, so the judge is only helped him. Does he want to? Yeah, he'll get down behind the building. He still hasn't activated. He's already moved 6 inches because of his weight, so that's quite good for him. Yeah, I think I'll bring the fatty on because it's. I don't really want to bring that guy out because I think he'll want to wait till this judge has activated as well. Oh, sorry, I never said what I was doing. Yeah, I've already moved on, so basically that guy doesn't try and return his chip to the bag, so he's unpinned, but his pal's pinned. Yeah, it might be an idea to bring him on at the vehicle park. He can only move 3 inches, and I can't put him onto a charge just yet. Because when he gets in a charge, his belly wheel starts going. You need that as a double action to do that. Moves the 3 inches. And that's him. And judges, I think it is only the judges that are left now. Yeah, there's only 2 judges left. Okay, so that's a disadvantage of the chip limitation. I've just realised I've not activated this guy, and I forgot because I was running. I didn't realise how low I was in chips, and it's the same with this guy whose chip I returned. He did actually move this turn, but yeah, that's a bit of a waste. But yeah, that's something to watch out if you're trying this chip thing. Keep an eye. It's harder because I'm trying to do both sides at once, but you'll definitely want to keep track of how many chips you've got down on the board and how many are still to come out. I suppose that should have been obvious to me, but it wasn't. Anyway, judge here is going to try and shake off her pin marker. She gets a 2000 AD, that clears it. She's not going to charge this time, so I'll get rid of that moving fast. And I'm going to move her. See what she can get to. Okay, so the judge moves up to the crate. She would have liked to have taken a shot at the fatty further back, but she just didn't have the range, so she had to move up. In fact, as she moves, that triggers his overwatch, and he is somebody with a combat rifle, so he's got 24 range. His 24 range covers to the corner of the vehicle, so as she's moving across there, he still is having to fire. I think it's a clear shot. I don't think those crates come into this stage. She is moving, so that does mean it's a snapshot he has to take. So it's a City Death Trooper, firing at range. He's got a 0 modifier because it's a combat rifle at long range, and that's pretty accurate. And so, yeah, 3 attack dice. She's not moving fast. It hits. She gets a 2 evade. She fails the evade. 3 power. Gets 1, and her resist as a straight judge is 3, so she needs 2 shields. No shield, so she takes a wound. Does spark her gunfighter though, so she take that injury marker, but she fires back to 4. But now, does she have the range to do it? No. Yeah, where he fired, he triggered it, was outside her range, so she didn't get to do that. Unfortunately for her, so she just takes that injury marker and can't return the fire. Unfortunately for her. So that takes away his overwatch. The other guys are still in place because he hasn't seen any movement yet. Yeah, she's not going to try and push her luck because she wants to keep the gunfighter activated, and she's down to 3 now because of that wound. So the last chip out the bag is this man here, and he's going to remove that. Moving fast. Oh dear. Okay, he's committed, so I'm going to move him. Yeah, he'll make it a sprint. So he's getting moving fast. But yeah, he's up. In fact, I'm moving to that side so he doesn't have too many people that can fire him, because this is a lot of fire coming from that direction. And there's going to be even more attackers coming from here. So that's it. Yeah, again, he's not trying to return the chip. So that is the end of turn 2. Okay, so just to give you an overview again, get the 2 judges up in the building, they're fine. That judge had just moved up. The senior street judge has 3 injury markers now, which is pretty grim for him. I've got especially got all these punks coming here. Now the citizens, actually there was a few special results. I was moving the citizens there, and so they've surrounded that one. They don't actually attack, they just run at them. And again here they did that as well. So yeah, there's still these two up here, one up there, and we've got 3 against these 2 down here. So it's now getting into the kind of real meat and drink of the game now. We're heavily into combat, so yeah, good fun. Let's get the chips back in the bag. Okay, straight off the bat, the perp's going to try and get the initiative here. So D3 action chips can get drawn straight away. Only one. And it is one of theirs. Yeah, so it didn't actually do anything. That was unfortunate for them. Yeah, they've got to try and put this guy down straight away. I think a guy with a pistol here, he's going to have a go, because the auto stump's basically blocked by these citizens, which is irritating. He's just a punk, so he only gets 1 attack dice. Does hit. The judge has only 1 evade left. Failed to evade. He gets 3 damage for a pistol. Scores 1. Judge's resist is down to 2, and he gets 2 for the. So these 2 shields take have no effect. 2 shields he gets, that's good. However, the perp will fire a second snapshot. Hits. Judge evades. No, he doesn't. 3 perp. 2, and again the judge gets 4. He gets 2, so that's a stun. This guy is on the brink. So yeah, he's got a stun, so that's 4, and it's just lucky that this guy happens to be the leader, because he's got kill 5, which is unusual. So yeah, he needs to get that. He needs to get activated and get that med pack going to get him back in the action here. Fortunately, that's that perp done. So draw another chip. Yeah, it's going to be this guy up here. So he's going to spend an action to shake off that stun, and he's going to fire at this poor street judge here. Sorry, senior street judge. 3 attack dice. 2 hits, which is enough to pin the judge now. The judge has no evade, so it's straight to damage. 2, that's could be curtains for him. And he's got 2 dice for. He's got minus 40s because he's got no resist, so all he has is he's out because he can't possibly. And the gunfighters came too late for him. So yeah, that's the first judge down, and it's the best one as well, so that is alarming, very alarming for the judges. And look at that, came straight out. Yeah, I'm going to play this one here on the roof, and you can still see that guy on the opposite roof. You get rid of him, and he's going to use his war rod, which he's really has to use the aimed action for that, because it's -2. I don't know if I did that wrong in previous turns. Apologies if I did. It's quite a hard one to remember that. The long barrel. So I'm doing an aim shot, I'm putting the shots into the damage, and he gets -1, so 3 attack dice. Does actually make it. The perp, let's hope the perp doesn't evade. 2, fails the evade. So that means 6 dice, combat dice. Whoa! Yeah, full house. There's nothing this perp can do about that. I'm going to give him the hardcover and give him the benefit of the doubt up there. He has a heavy, so he gets 3 resist dice. What's the 2 for heavy cover? 2, but that's not good enough against that. So he is shot down immediately, so that's good. So that's another perp down, 2 perps down. Still in this, the judges. Okay, and yeah, he's going to try and return that chip. Maybe sound good greedy here, but He has failed. This is the time when you really want those to come off. Back into the bag. Judges again. I think I'll activate this judge again and try and shake off that pinned. No, he hasn't. So it's a snapshot. Yeah, okay. He has to do it. Has to go for that guy. It's -1 at long range and then -2 for that long barrel. So 1 dice. Fails. Okay, and he's going to try and return his chip. He does do it this time. It's getting a bit hairy. It's not pinned, which is the main thing. Perps. Okay, I've got a perp here. I think he'll move to the edge of that building and then try and fire it. The judges up here. And you can, it's long range. This is the guy with 2 pistols. So he's going to use his extra weapon. He's firing at the one that hasn't, but he still missed it. He's going to fire at the guy that was pinned, so that's not paid off. Next chip. Judges. Okay, this guy. Yeah, he's going to have a go at that one in there. And over in the staircase there. Aim shot. Oh, can you believe that? Okay, so trying to turn the chip again. Does do it. It goes back in the bag. Perps this time. Actually, this perp here will take a shot at it. Yeah, fire it. The one that's injured. He does have the extra gun if he wants to do it, but I think he'll take his chances. I'm trying to play these as exactly as I would. I think I would try 2 snapshots. So hit. Street judge gets only evaded 2 and she's wounded, so fails. 3 damage. Gets 1. Resist of 2 because it's been down 1 plus the 2, so she needs 2 shields. She does get 2 shields and she gets that gunfire. Was she pinned? No, she was not pinned, so she's going to shoot back at him. Then she has a shoot of 2 because -1 for being wounded, -1 for long range. Oh man. Okay, so he fires again, and again it's 2 dice. Hits. She tries to evade. She fails. He rolls his power. 1. And she gets 4 again. And she gets 1. She gets the gunfire. She takes a stun. But gunfighter is triggered before that is applied. -1 for range, -1 for a win, so she could shoot into it. She does hit this time. So he definitely get 1. Oh, he does. Unbelievable. That is him activated. Better put his chip over. There we go. So, back in the bag. And villains again. This guy up here is going to take a shot at her. Sensing blood here. I think he'll take an aim shot and try and take her down. He'll put it into the damage because he wants to try and finish up there. So 3 attack dice, and he hits and he pins her as well. Oh dear. Right, so she does still have her 1 evade. No, she doesn't, because she took that stun. Okay, 3 damage. Sorry, 5 damage because believe it or not, you only get 1. She was lucky there. So she only has 3 attack dice now, 3 dice to do it, so she needs 2 shields. 1 shield. Oh dear. So she is right on the brink as well. So that's him finished. Next chip. Yeah, this block ganger's going to move up to the edge there. And she's going to try shooting that auto stump. She's just outside 10 range there, so yeah, so she's still at -1. She's only a gang punk, so she only gets 1 dice. She doesn't want to now come out any further though, because she'll be an open target. She does hit, no dodge. However, power and an auto stomp at long range is only 2. And our judge, she's suffer 3 and she's only got resisted 3, so it's only the cover that she's got here, so she really needs at least 1 armour. She gets it. She's just in. That perp was unsuccessful. Okay. Whew. She's going to do a hunker down, and we're going to have to play the old med pack. I really wish the judge here had hung on and could have played that, hit the duck one. But yeah, I'm going to use that double action, but she is back to full health, clears those, brings her back from the brink. Now everybody's pretty much fired over here, so she's back to full health and nothing else threatening her, so she'll go for it. She gets 2. That may have been a critical one there. So that removes, puts that back in the bag. Big moment there, big moment. Comes back out. Right, now she can see if she can deal some punishment here. Okay, so she's got 3 perps. So I think she'll fire at this one first of all. Yeah, that I already know that it's long range. So she gets 3 attack dice. I'm sure it's on hit. Evade. Oh man, she evades. She ducks back behind that cover. It's funny, the evades are coming off for the perps tonight. Okay, she's going to fire it. The judge is going to fire at him instead. Just rush into the aim shot. Okay, 2 hits. He's only got evade of 1 because he's a side death. Fails it. She gets her 4 damage. She rolls 1. He does have her cover and his resist is 3, so 5, so he needs 2 shots. Only gets 1, so he takes a stun. She's going to try and return this again. She does, she gets that 2000 AD, so it goes back in the pack again. What a reversal of fortunes for her here. Oh, it's a star as well. I think we'll have to make it her city death up there. So she has got to try, and she's got a pin marker, so she's going to have to try and shit out, but she does have kill 4, so she fails. First action is to remove that pin. Second action is to put his chip back in, and that's a full action, and she's going to try and return her own chip. She does. So suddenly we're getting a wee run of chips back in the bag, so both of them back in, which is bad news for the judges. And normal one, yeah, it's going to be this guy. So he's going to shoot at this judge, and his range is perfect because he's got the combat rifle, which is, and the judge is only at 17 away from him, so he will not be able to return fire even if he can. So this is why the judges were desperate to take out these guys first. So the long range weapons are pretty deadly. So it gets a hit. He's a street judge though, so he's only got 2 evade. Failed. 3 damage. 2 and 5 total for the street judge. Only 1. So he takes an injury marker. And yeah, he's going to go again, that punk. Fails that time, so that's him activated. However, that city definitely needs to get a chip out. And so the question is, do I want to, I could just activate her straight away and put his straight back, but I wouldn't be able to return the chip again. I think it's worth it because she doesn't have anybody else around her just now, and at some point she's going to get pinned, so try and clear a pin first of all. Sorry, I had a marker down there that should have been removed when she activated last turn, so she is basically spending an action to put his back in. That is her this turn, she can't go again. Judge, so our man over here is going to try and get him before he activates again. Alorod is 36 inches, so he's definitely in range. It's an aim shot because he doesn't want that negative and he's thrown it into the damage. 3 attack dice, aim shot, hit. So side dive, so only gets 1. Not dodged that time. 4 dice for the law rod and 2 extra for the aim shots. Come on. 3, and the guy gets 5 dice. Gets 2, so he just gets a wound. So he takes an injury marker there. And the judge will try and return it. 2000 AD does it. Okay, so that is back in the bag. Yeah. He'll go for it even with a -1, because I think he knows he's in the way. So he'll take 2 snapshots. First one, hit. Judge gets evade a 1 because he's injured. Failed. 3 power. 2, and he has 4 resist. Okay, so that's another stun, however, gunfighter activated. I'll just place that stun there. And of course I said that. Yeah, I said that he was out of range, so he cannot return fire there. Second shot. 2 dice. Fails that one. Yeah, it's got to be. I forgot about this one down here. She's going to make a move action and then she's going to shoot the judge. So she's got 4 attack dice because she's a city death. Pinned straight away, and he has no evade because he's stun and injury. So this is one of the things that was rule checked. Basically, if you're firing over cover, it basically means counts as light cover as it's written in the rules. We checked out behind and he said it was his intention that if you're touching the cover it doesn't apply. However, as it's written, it does actually apply. But I take his intent over it, so I'm not, and I personally don't really like the idea that if you're up against cover and you're firing over it, that it's hindering you. To me, they would be resting the gun on top of the cover and actually giving it more stability. So that's my argument for it anyway. So, so roll for the damage. It's only 2, so he doesn't get. So it's only 1 damage. He doesn't get the benefit of cover because of my roll. And he gets 2, so he soaks that up. That was close, and that is hard because you had to actually do the move action to get there in the first instance. Another blue chip. I think this guy will try a charge move. So he can move a full move in d6 inches extra. So what he's really hoping for you to do, he can move forward and then he can take a second turn in his front arc. So he's hoping he can reach. So let's see what happens. That's where he's going. 3. Will that be enough? No, it will not be enough. He's about an inch short of getting into close combat there. Okay, that's another. Yeah, again, this is when the perps get really dangerous, when they start outflanking the judges. Okay, I think this guy is definitely going to try and back off here because he's getting wedged in, as I just mentioned. So he's going to do a hunker down, I think. Yeah, I'm not going to hunker down. I'm just going to shake off the stun and I'm going to move him back because it's just not good. He's too exposed now, so he needs to retreat. Judges are not stupid, so you can only move 5, but it's enough to get him back to there. Yeah, I'm not really feeling it for for trying to return his kill. He's down to kill 3, so it's not great. Next chip, and it's the judges again. Okay. Now, this perp has just made himself nice and close for the judges to take a shot. So it's this guy, he hasn't pinned. He's going to get a -2 if I do a snapshot with that long barrel. I think I'm going to take it because he's at short range, which The law rod. No, the law rod doesn't give any benefit, but 2 attack dice, I'm willing to take the risk, I think. Yeah. He's got 2 evades, so I'm not really keen on aim shot hit. He's evade. He does evade. And he's now out of the line of sight, so this guy now is going to have to snapshot but at somebody at long range, which is not great. So he's going to be -3. So yeah, we'll go for that guy up there who's already got the injury marker up. So -3 means he just gets 1 dice. Does get the hit, well done. Okay, so the City Death doesn't have an evade because they only have 1 evade and the guy's got an injury marker, as I mentioned. So he gets his damage 3, and that guy's down to 2 for his resist, and he gets 2 for the hardcore. No things at all, so that's 3 injury markers, and he is out. So that's another pair. Crashes down the stairs and he is down. And I did. So this one is going straight back in. It's coming straight back out. And yeah, he is going to try and go for that leader there, gang leader. Because she's not been out yet, so and she can revive that other guy. So long range, but yeah, easily in for the range. Will be an aim shot, he's putting the damage in so he doesn't get the -2 for these 3 dice. That's enough to get a hit. She's going to evade it too. She fails the evade. 6 dice here. She only gets 2. She doesn't have cover where he's looking. 2 shields. She gets 1, she takes a wound there. Yeah, not as good as he was hoping for with a 6 attack dice. Try and return that chip. Does that again, 3, wow. Okay, back in there again. So, yeah, it's kind of hard though, because like, this could completely go anywhere, and then there's her star chip out. So she is going to activate, she's going to do a kill test because she's got a pinned marker there. Go for that, so she's down to 3 kill now. She does do it, she shakes off the pinned. Yeah, she's going to use her action to try and get him. She's guaranteed to get 1 back, and there's only 1 in range, so that will remove his chip. She's got gunfire, so I don't really want to mess around with that. I want to keep her chip out, so she's content with returning 1 chip to the bag. And there's one of them out. Yeah, gang member. I'm going to try and keep the heat on this, the pressure on this other guy. So I'm going to rule that she can actually sprint because of the pedestrians, but the citizens, but she certainly can move without impediment, I would say. It's kind of hard. I don't really know what the intention is there because it says that they move towards them, but they don't actually attack, so I'd quite like to know. She's going to fire at him. She's at short range now, which is good because that gives her a +2. Hits and pins him. He does get his dodge, but he's down to 1 evade now. Failed. So she gets 4 attack dice and she rolls 2. He gets a resist, usually 3 because he's a street judge. He's down to 2 because he has wind, he gets +2 for the armors. In fact, he gets 3 armors, which is even better, no effect. But pushback, the knockback rule for that auto stump. He gets pushed back. So yeah, she knocked him back 5 inches there, which takes him further away. I don't know if that's good or not. It probably is good because everybody's closing in them, but he is exposed now. Judges, sorry, the perps rather. I think this guy's going to have to move up. It'll just need to be a double move because of the way sprint's not really going to help him. Okay, so he runs out screaming. He's trying to close down this judge. He's got the star chip, so may as well try and return it to the bag. does it. So that chip is back in. Absolute carnage this round. I think he's going to try and put that gang member down. Another aim shot. So I guess 3 attack dice. Hits 1 evade. She fails her evade. And he rolls 6 attack dice. That's more like it. 5. And she has only got resisted 3 now, and she only stops 1, so that's 4 injuries, which is 3, and she didn't roll any special there, so there was no return fire, so she gets riddled with bullets and crashes down the stairs. So yeah, the casualties are mounting up, but the perps are still throwing the pressure on here. Try and return his chip again. Let's try and do it. He's been pretty, he's in a bit of a rampage, that guy. It's coming to an end this time. Okay, so he's finally pinned, but he's in absolutely no danger there really, so he could completely afford to do that. Judges. So yeah, we'll go back to her and fire at that guy behind the truck again, and she's got nothing there because she cleared all her stuff, so she's just at long range. So 3 attack dice, 3 hits, pins him. Stun that he's carrying means he can't dodge. 2. His resist is normally 3, it's down to 2 because of the stun, and +2 for hard cover. He rolls 1, so he takes an injury marker. She's going to fire again. Dice. Does get a hit. He doesn't have any evade, as we said. 4, 2. Down to 1 for his resist, but he's got 2 for hard cover. And he gets nothing, so that is him out. Wow, back and forward here, this is just absolute carnage. That's another one down. Okay, and we've got the last. He wants to do a charge, definitely. He will be able to make it. He can do it with his single move without rolling the d6, so he is going to try and axe this guy. So we've got a little fight in our hands here. This will be interesting because I don't remember I scrapped the close combat weapons. So the situation here is he'll be rolling his fight, and the guy's he's a block gang member and he's just a punk. So your fight is 2, but he gets +1 because this guy is pinned, which makes it easier for him to hit. And he also adds the weapon modifier, and he has an axe which gives him a +1. So basically it's 4 attack dice. He just hits and no more. The judge does have 1 evade because he's only taken 1 wound. Fails his evade. The guy rolls his fight again and adds his axe again, and this time he gets a +1 for making the charge move. So again, it's 4 dice for his power. 2, the judge is only down to 2 resist now, so he needs really to roll both of these. He rolls 1, so he takes 1 injury marker. So I suppose that's the only, he's still in at the moment, but only just 1 more there, and he'd have been toast if he hadn't got. Yeah, he's basically moving that far, but this guy at the back has his overwatch shot. Yeah, the guy at the back can just see him, so he just has the range to fire that pistol, but it's done a move, so he's going to do it as a snapshot. Snapshot range will be a -1. Yeah, -1, so 2 attack dice. He does hit. The judge gets his 2 evade. Failed. Power 3. Oof. And the judge does have hard cover. He's got resist of 3 as a start. Street judge. 5 dice. What was 2, so he has taken 1 injury marker. the back and forth continues, okay, and that gets rid of his Overwatch shot. And now he's going to fire. In fact, he'll fire at that guy as soon as he's out in the open. Does hit. City definitely gets one evade. Fails. 2 power. Gets 3. Gets 1. So that's 1 wound in him. I don't think the judge will push his luck. And remove that, moving fast. Last chip in the bag. And it's a judge. And it's a judge that hasn't activated, so that is the end of the turn. So let's look at let's see what the carnage is here. So we've lost 1 judge. And it's our senior street judge. And 1, 2, 3, 4 perps down. So we've lost 5 perps now and 1 judge after that turn. This is insane, this is brilliant. I hope you're enjoying watching this because I'm having a lot of fun doing it. Obviously these two seem very secure. This guy is really in trouble, he needs to activate quickly. These two, the judge furthest forward, he just took that injury mark alert and the other one's fine. So the judges need to take down 3 more to win, so they can certainly do it. The perps, I should have said, they need to take down 3 judges, so it's still all in the balance here. Okay, so at the start of turn 4, we have the judges have already put in their 5 chips already, and we have the perps here. So there's 6 block gang members left and 4 city def, one of which is a star chip, but the block gang have lost their star chip. So that's the state of play there. Let's get into it. And it's a judge. So I think this guy, the citizens actually started running at the attacker, obviously trying to help the poor judge. But yeah, he's going to try and remove his pinned marker first of all, so he's down at 2. And he fails. So first action is to shake that off. Second action is going to attack. I'm going to go with the lawgiver, so you get -1 for firing with a lawgiver in close combat. So fortunately he does have the +1 for the lawgiver at this range, because it's short range, so that negates that. So his shoot is normally 4 and it's down to 2 dice, so he's got 2 attack dice. Okay, hit. And the perp, he has no wounds, so he just gets his usual 2 dice evade. Makes it. Oh dear, oh dear. Okay, so that is that judge. He's only got 2 dice, but he's going to have to try and return that because it's not any use really. It's no choice. Wow, he gets it. So that goes back in, but yeah, if that perp activates first, he's still in deep trouble. Okay. And as a perp, so yeah, this guy is going to activate and try and put him down. He's going to do 2 fight actions because I think it may be more effective than bothering with the charge. So he's a gangpunk and his fight stat is 2, and he gets +1 for the axe he's using. Tries to hit, fails. Okay, so he gets second fight action. Okay, 3, and that will pin our judge as well. That was enough hits. So that, unfortunately for him, that pin marker is back, and he gets no evade because he's -2. So straight in with the damage, and again it's 3 because it's 2 for the sting +1 for the axe. No damage. This guy's got a charmed life. His resist is only, yeah, it's only down to 1, so he does still need this to avoid a stun, but yeah, he avoids the stun. So well done to him. He's soaked that up, and we go back into the bag. And it's a perps. yeah, we'll move this perp here and she will come around the vehicle, and it's enough for her just to be able to see that judge. Okay, so she is going to shoot, and she is at short range, so it's 4 attack dice. She does hit. He is already pinned. He's got no dodge as we've established. And it's 3 power. Yeah, his resist is usually 3 and he's minus. So he does again. He reduces that to 0, which is a stun. So he receives a stun, which basically puts him right in the edge here. So yeah, he needs to get away from this. And the villains keep coming. I think this one will take a shot at the judge. So she's got a sawn off stump, which basically means she's going to take an aim shot because she can't fire 2 snapshots in a single go. So there's no bonus for sawn off stump. It only has short range and there's no bonuses for it. So basic shoot, she does get 2 hits. The judge, he's taken 1 wound, so he gets 1 evade. He fails his evade. So that gives her a whopping 6 attack dice for the power. But she only scores 2, which is lucky for him. He's down to 2 resist and he gets +2 for his hard cover. And he scores 2, that does give him a stun. So he receives his stun and she has activated. One thing just to say about the 10 chips that went in. So basically, as you lose characters, it basically means you're going to be able to field everybody that you have. And really the thinking in my head about that is that as the danger, basically some of the combatants, and you see this quite a lot in the strip actually, when Dredd's kind of raiding bases, that there's a lot of perps who are kind of very slow to react. And the way I look at this is that as you're picking off perps, they kind of waking up to the danger, and that's why all of them later on in the game will have all their chips as they're getting picked off, that everybody's realising the danger and they're in the fight. So everybody will activate this time. Back into the bag. Next chip, that's a judge. This judge down here. I think you should actually try and shake that off. I would actually rather do that one. Yeah, I'm going to activate him, shake off that stun because that's pretty dangerous. It'll just mount up pretty quickly. So he's got 3 targets, in fact he's got 4 targets because there's one up there. The one up there, the one behind the vehicle, they get hard cover. The fatty actually has quite a high resist, so I think the most attractive proposition is this guy at the back. Try and shoot him. So that's what we'll do. So it's just 1 snapshot because he did remove that stun mark. So because he's a long range and he's got an injury marker, it's only 2 attack dice. He gets 2, that immediately pins the guy. Because he's injured, he doesn't have any evade, so let's go straight to the power for the lawgiver and score 1. Usually his resist would be 3, so he's reduced to 2, and he gets none, so he suffers another injury marker, so he's got 2. Bit of a dilemma what to do with this judge here, because on the one hand you want to go for broke, on the other hand there's probably going to be more attacks coming in, so I think I'm just going to leave him there because he's only down to a cool of 3, which makes it harder to return that chip. So back into the bag, and as the perps, and it's a star chip. So the leader is going to snap into action here. So time for some shenanigans. Zipline grapnel, basically she can change elevations for free. So she's going to use that grapnel to move down to the bottom for nothing. She is going to take a move action, which brings her over beside her comrade. Unfortunately for her own gang member is in the block gang member's in the way, so she can't shoot at the judge. But she's going to use another big med card. Hit him with everything. Your faction leader and any friendly models within 6 inches of them may each take an immediate snapshot. All shots must be resolved at 1 nominated enemy target within line of sight of the leader. I think she does still have a bit of line of sight to him, so I think it's doable. So I'm not going to block that. However, the judges are going to play some dirty tricks as well. D3 models may take an immediate hunker down action. You may play this as a reaction before any dice are rolled when your opponent declares any kind of shoot action. So D3 models, 2 models. Right, so he is going to back off around the corner so that he can't be shot at. And I'll take a risk with this guy. Yeah, if he can hunker down, that would be ideal, but the other guy gets a free attack because he is leaving close combat. Okay, big risk, so the blocker gets 3 dice for his free attack. He does hit, the guy's already pinned, he can't dodge, so again 3 dice for the power. And he gets 2, and the guy's only got 1 resist, so he is down and out. Another judge down, so the perps only need to kill 1 more judge and they win the battle, but it's not over yet, so see what happens next. And it is the judges. Okay, so I'm going to activate this judge here. He's going to try and shake off his pinned mark. He does do it, so he can do an aimed shot. And does he have the line of sight to that guy? I think he does have a line of sight. The guy's going to get soft cover. So using an aimed action, putting the extra dice into the power, and it's -1 for long range, so 3 attack dice. Misses. Oh man, that was a bad one. Okay, he is going to try and push it, try and return the chips, and he is pinned. The wheels are falling off for the judges after a promising last turn. And it's the perps. Yeah, I think this guy will take a sprint action. Yeah. Move 6 ways first, and then can easily get to the bottom of those stairs, and he's got a moving fast marker, so he's prepared for next turn. Judges again. I think this judge, she'll go for the fatty, and she'll take an aim shot and trying to, in the hope of one-shotting him, she's going to do that. It's long range, -1, so 3 attack dice. Look at the deserting the judges, no. She's going to try and return the chip. I'm pinned, it's all gone south. So she's pinned and back into the bag. The last judge. Okay, he'll try and shake off his pinned marker. He does do it. He's going to move to the top of the stairs. He comes over to do a snapshot. He's -2 for his long barrel, -3 because of the moving fast, but +1 for being in short range. So overall, -2 and 2 attack dice. He does hit. The blocker gets 2 evade, fails his evade. 4. Ooh, that's a good one. And the blocker, his resist is only 2. He gets 1, but that is not good enough because that inflicts 3 injury markers, and suddenly the momentum shifts again. Okay, so he is down and out. That means the judges only need 2 more. However, yeah, they've done most of their activations. This guy is going to have to go for it. Oof, he gets it. That's something. And bear in mind there are 2 chips in the bag because the dead judge, his chip is still in there as well. But it is the perps. This perp is going to make a move action to come round. She is going to be touching the cover there, so she's going to get the benefit of the cover. She's going to take a snapshot with her auto stump. She's just in short range with it. That increases her shoot up to 4. She does get a hit. He, however, is a veteran judge who gets 3 evades. Fails his evade, 4 dice. She gets 2. He gets a resist of 4. +2 for being in cover 6, so it means 4, or 3 rather. Gets 2, so he takes a stun. So she inflicts a stun on him, that's her. Next chip out is another perp. I think this guy, I was thinking of firing him at the judge that's up in the building, but he's out of range for him. He can't really fire at long range him because he'll have a -1 for the wound and a -1 for long range, so he's going to have to get in closer. So he's going to do a sprint, and he can move an extra 5. So that'll be 15 because his move is reduced to 5 at the moment because of that injury marker. Next chap out is the judge. So this guy is going to try and be a one-man army here. He's going to take an aim shot at him. He's going to try and one-shot this guy. So he is at short range, which gives him +1, which basically means he has 5 attack dice. Yep, 3 hits. That pins the perp. He does get his evade though. Fails his evade. And it's a whopping 6 dice coming at him. 5. I don't think there's anything he can do about that because his resist is only... Yeah, Gangpunks only have 2 resists, so this academic gets 1, but that's 4 injury markers, and that is another one down. Wow, okay, so that's 2 perps. That guy's taken down in quick succession. There's already 5 down. That is 7 of the 15 perps, so the judges are almost there, but the perps are almost there. This next kill wins. This guy's got to go for broke. He's got to try and pick off another one. The last hope they've got. 2. So the spree continues. It is back in the bag. And it's straight back in. It's a different one, but that's the guy that had died there. Doesn't have a line of sight to that one. Doesn't have a line of sight to the other one. He's going to have to move back to where he was with the first action. He's going to have to take a snapshot, which is he's going to try and, yeah, he does have a line of sight to that guy. So that guy has him moving fast. That'll be a -1. It'll be -3 because of his snapshot, but he gets +1 for it being short range. So overall -2. 2 dice, still more than doable. And he does get a hit. The block gang only has 1 evade. He doesn't make it, so he gets his 4 damage. Could this be it? No, it's not going to be it. The guy only has 1 resist now because he was just 2. Yeah, he does get the armor save, so that puts a stun on him, and the guy's going to try again. Can he do it? No, he can't. He's finally pinned. Oh dear. What? Just 1 more action, and then he probably would have had the measure of that guy. So that is the judge. He's done. Can the perps finish this? Okay, so we got the guy up there. He's going to fire his combat rifle at the judge. 3 attack dice, that hits. She is not wounded though, so she is not pinned. Tries to evade. She fails her evade. 3 power. 2. She's a straight judge, so she's got 3 and +2. So she wants to get at least 3 if she can. She does get 3. Okay, so she is absolutely fine. The perp is going to fire again now. And he misses. Okay. Another one of the perps. I think this guy is going to do a hunker down. He wants to do a hunker down, but he's going to have to pass a kill test, and he's only got 1 there. And he fails that, so he's going to have to spend first action removing it, and his second one I think he'll just move up. Okay, next chap is judges, but there's none left, so that only leaves the last chip, which is the fatty. Yeah, there's not much you can do. I'm going to put him in a charge. So fatty's in a charge, so he just rolled 2d6 to see how far he goes. And he moves 6, which is really just 2 single moves. Really. Doesn't particularly help him, but he does, because he's charging, does get a moving fast marker. I think I may have forgotten that when it was the guy that was attacking the judge in the close combat. But that's it, that's the end of turn 4, and we are definitely into a sudden death situation here for turn 5. Just to confirm, we've got two judges that are off the table now, and yeah, we've got 7 of the gang there dead. So 7 perp chips in there against 4 judges, and it's the perps first. The stump gun, I think she'll come to the edge there. and she's going to fire at the judge down there again. She actually has to come closer because that sawn off is just out of range there. So she runs round that side. Let's see if the range is okay this way. Yeah, that takes her to 9 inches, so she can now fire it. No bonus, just a basic shoot, which is 2. She misses. That was lucky for the judge. Yeah. Next chip. Judges. Could be critical. Okay, so we're going to go with this guy who's not stunned. He's going to try and shake off that pinned marker. He fails. Oh dear. Okay, so he's going to have to do his awkward shot. So -2 for the long barrel, -1 for moving fast, -3, so that would be 1 dice, but he gets +1 because it's short range. So this is a big roll. He does it, he hits. The perp has an injury marker and a stun, so he gets no evade. 4 power. Gets 2. The guy only has 1 left, and that is... He does get 1, but that is not good enough. 1 injury marker, and with the stun, that's 3, and he only has cool of 3. So he is down and out. Wow, what a game that was. That was incredible. Absolute carnage. Yeah, 10 models taken out in the course of it, 8 of the perps and 2 judges, and the judges were pretty close to losing it. So yeah, I had an absolute blast with that. Interested to know what everybody thinks of the rule about limiting the chips. I'm actually quite pleasantly surprised, because a game this scale you would expect the judges to really be struggling when they were struggling in some of the starter set scenarios. So I think it's a combination of the point reductions, which, as I said at the start, are completely legal, and this new rule about the perps only receive double the starting chips that you have at maximum at any time. As you saw, it reduces over the course of the game as usual, but then as the numbers get thinned down, all your guys are going to be able to react. So I did actually, this is the second night of play. I picked up turn 4 was the second day, and I had looked at some of the footage, so I had discovered about the major blunder with this character, which is really frustrating because yeah, that could have changed the whole outcome, so I'm a bit annoyed about that. That said, overall, I think, you know, the balance was pretty close. That, you know, I think the perps probably would have edged it had I got that one call right instead of wrong. It did make a difference that she was in it, and having said that, I don't think they really picked off. Yeah, I think she did pick off somebody that was in one of the side death there, but most of the damage seemed to be kind of done, you know, by effectively these 2 guys with the law rods. To me, one of the things that's coming across that I'm discovering as I play the game is that the long range weapons are really powerful, and actually quite worth the points. I was a bit worried that the law rod at 5 points each, so that was 10 points just to have these 2 guys. It was a bit costly, but they're definitely worth it. The combat rifles for the city death and block gangers, I think that's the best weapon you can take, because they get really good range and you never get a -1 with the combat rifles. So yeah, they'll be a bit pricey, but to me they're much more effective than the short range weapons. Thematically, do you want to do that? Probably not. You probably want to have a mix of weapons and, you know, keep the game interesting. So I'm not kind of here saying load up every single model that you have with combat rifles, because I just think it's more fun, to be honest, the game, if you have that variety and you know, make use of all the different weapons in the game. I didn't use the rocket launcher because I was quite wary of the rocket launcher because it is so powerful a weapon, and I didn't like the fact that it could have started deployed up there. I already thought it was powerful enough with the sniper character being in there, but yeah, maybe in a future game I will try the rocket launcher out. But normally the thing about the rocket launcher is it needs a double action to fire it, and you wouldn't, in a lot of scenarios, they wouldn't be in a place just to fire it straight off the bat, which would have been the case here, which is the reason why I went against it. Anyway, I'd like to hear what you think about the changes. As I say, I'm not too worried about the points costings because they are completely legal. But I would be interested in what you think of this idea of the chips. It didn't actually affect things as much as I thought it would have, and the reason it didn't was because I had, the points costings, reducing them did actually help matters, and I did take a couple of leaders for a change. I think ideally in Judge Dredd, I think both sides should have a leader character. It does help a bit if you can have one or two of those characters in, because that was one of the things I found with Strontium Dog, was that usually there was so many villains that you had that did have star chips that you often took them in your force, so the game had a bit more balance, whereas I kind of felt with the starter scenarios, because it was all non-star chip guys that the perps had, that the numbers were able to overwhelm. So hopefully the reductions in costings for the judges and the limitations in the chips will help things. By all means, try the starters, please try this out and let us know how you go on with the starter set scenarios. I think you will find they'll balance slightly better. For a start, the foot chase, you would have, the perps would be limited to 2 chips, which would, reduces the chances of them getting the guys off so easily. Because that was our experience, was that the judge, if he failed his cool test, and it was pretty much over to return the chip to the bag, because he needed a couple of activations. So the fact that the perps would be reduced to 2 in that one would help a lot. And the second one, they would be reduced to 4 chips out of the 5, and because it's 2 against 5. And then the last mission, it would be 4 chips to be reduced to when you have 8 characters. So I think that would really make a difference. Obviously, as characters get picked off, your reinforcements come in. Food for thought. Try it out. Please comment in the video or on Facebook, wherever you see it. Let's all have a conversation about this and see what everybody's thoughts are. So thanks for watching anyway, and until next time, keep on living the life or die.